Salam, salutations and sparkles. Today's must-know video is about, it's basically hacks about what happens if ever your ball falls out or you lose your ball. So the best way to describe this is with this book. This is an excellent book. As you know, I've told you before, I belong to a wonderful book club called The Passionate Page Turners, and we're always reading books every month. This isn't a book that we read there, but this is a book that I really like. It's a business book, and it's about how, the science of success, and it's called the 80-20 principle, meaning in life, 20% of anything can go wrong, and 20% of your effort actually gives you the most rewards. And one of the major principles is about how to be able to adapt yourself in any given circumstances. So your piercing's fallen out or you've lost your piercings, what do we do? Look at my wonderful array here. A wonderful array of goodies that we're now going to point to. So it's a bit like having a recipe. First things first, if your ball has fallen out, the number one thing is to try and rush back off to your piercer if you can, or get to a piercer. Obviously, if you've travelled out for a piercer, because I have people come to me that travel from all over the world, and then they come and they fit me in as part of their holiday and then go home. But obviously, if I'm not available, get to another piercer, and hopefully, if they haven't got any ego issues, they will put your ball back in for you. Yes, they might charge, but don't worry about that. Pay that little charge and get that ball back in. Remember, the reason why it unscrews sometimes a piercing is because just a general friction. It can, you might have, be honest with yourself, you might have played around with it, might have washed your hair and all that friction. Oh, sorry, and by the way, I'm presuming it's your low piercing, but even if it's anything else down this, any sort of friction will have caused it to come undone. So if you can't put it back in, go to your piercer. If you can if however you can't even get to a piercer, try and get a dexterous minded friend or family member who'll help you out, because it might be a bit tricky for you to do. Now, if you've got the ball, like a tiny ball, these bad boys might help. Latex gloves. If you've got a clean pair of latex gloves, new pair preferably, get them on your fingers, because that will help you have a little bit of grip. Put them on, and then clean your piercing, clean that area around there, and then get them to use the ball. And remember, righty is tighty, lefty is loosey. So you're going to turn it clockwise. That's your rule of drilling. Try and get them to put it back in. What you might want to do is, where you're sitting, or if you're lying down, you might want to get a sheet. Put a sheet on your bed or on your chair, just in case the ball slips, and at least it will get caught in the chair, or wherever you're sitting. So you get up and you can find it again. So that's what you can do if your ball falls out. Get a friend. If you think you can do it yourself, again, put the latex gloves on. Give the ball a little bit of a clean. Just a little stir it. Alcohol wipe. Whenever you're changing a jewellery, always give it a little clean with a bit of alcohol. Yeah, so you can use that. Clean it with that, or you can clean it with a hand gel. Perfect. Or you can clean it with some sort of cleansing sort of type solution. A good one I like is glycerin and rosewater. Another one which is quite nice is witch hazel. That's a nice, you can clean it with that as well. And then your good old organic saline solution, and this is the best. This is our one. This is Dandelion Wellness, this one. Yeah, excellent. So you can just clean it with that as well. Okay, now, so remember, just get your friend to use that and clean it with that, and then apply it, and Bob's your uncle, you are done. Now, stage 2. Next step, you flipping lost your ball. What did you lose your ball for? Okay, fair enough, they're tiny, they've vanished into the stratosphere. So what are you going to do? What are your options? You can't get to a piercer, it's an emergency, it might be Saturday night, or you might be in the middle of some, the Sahara Desert for some example. But in the Sahara Desert, you've suddenly come across these goodies. So these are the goodies that I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up on. Okay, so here's your bar. Now imagine that's through your lobe. This is a standard Lebret bar. Not even 80 to 90% pieces of jewelry, especially through the lobes and tragus and stuff, are this bar. Everywhere else you might find that you get a curved barb, yeah, so, or a horseshoe or a CBR type bar. If your balls, like in this case, has fallen out, what we're going to do is we've got a couple of options here. Yeah, again, get your little wipe, try and keep your jewelry clean it up, and then we've got an option. You've got 3 options here. Yeah, if you find that you can't grip your piece of jewelry and anything properly, get a pair of latex gloves. So you can put them on, slip them on, and then you can get a better grip. Now, option 1 is the blue tack, or in this case it's white tack. So we're just going to take a bit out, and remember, try and use a fresh, don't use anything that's been hanging around. It's your body again. Bull. Actually, that looks a bit big. I might even take it down a little bit less. Yeah, so let's just, yeah, got it. And then you can put that, you can slip that, hold on, you get the gist, yeah? And, right, let me just put it on the side, it's going to fall over, there you go. But you get the gist, yeah? There. So that's a bit of a life-saving hack there. You can pop to the local chemist, or if you've got some, you can try and tie that around your bar again. So let's just give this a go. Okay, my fingers. So I eventually got there, but that's it. You get the gist, yeah. There you go. So you've secured it around your you secured it in your ear or wherever, yeah. So this is a little bit of a jewelry collection of my daughter's, and she hasn't just used it as yet. But as you can see, if you've got old piercings lying around, what you can do is you can use the little back, the plastic part, yeah. So the plastic part, or even the backing part of that, some of them do slip. The plastic one will definitely slip because obviously that's elastic. But the other ones might not slip in as well. Well, shall we give it a go? See how it goes, yeah? So we're just going to take one of these out. There we go. And then we're going to just give it a go and try and squeeze it on. There we go. Voila. Okay, Bob's your uncle. That you've lost that, you can try with this one. Let's see if that goes. And it might not. Sort of. It's not as secure because remember, different jewelry pieces have different fittings. Oh, let's try this a bit. Oh, no, it's this one. It has to be this one. There we go. Not as secure, but it will cover you. Yeah? Right. Okay, now hopefully all those tips are life-saving tips. Vanity. Vanity is a must. So yeah, aesthetically you want to look good. So yeah, it's crucial to to have your aesthetics in place. So now, remember one thing: the rubber band and blue tack. They're temporary measures. Yeah, they can get dirty. You don't want to get your piercing infected. Ideally, you want to leave them for 24 to 48 hours. If you can't get to a piercer, just replace the rubber band, replace the blue tack. Okay, remember, especially here in London, it's really, really dusty. Again, recap. 20% of anything can go wrong. So if it does, you've got these tips that will help you. Another really important bonus tip is body changes. So you might have had your piercings for an X amount of years or months or time, but suddenly something happens and your body starts to reject a piercing. Unfortunately, you're going to have to accept it, because life happens and suddenly your body's saying, I don't want it no more. If that's the case, and you've tried, you've done all the tips, you've done all the aftercare, you've done all the advanced aftercare, and it just doesn't want it, it's forming a keloid or it's getting overly pus, and this is like obviously after an X amount of time, even if initially the piercing took nicely, say goodbye. It's time to say bye, and perhaps allow that area to heal and then get a piercing somewhere else. Hope all these tips helped, and if they did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and like, and leave a comment down below if you want us to see and film any other great videos around health and well-being and piercings. I'm Nasila. It was a pleasure being back, so hopefully we'll see you again next time. Bye.